Okay, what we have here is a virtual image of Windows Server 2008, and we can see here the address is 192.168.75.130. This is a private address, so our scanning through Nessus will be done with inside the virtual image, and what we'll do is we'll actually have a look to see which ports that we've actually got open. So we can see in this case the ports where we have something listening. It's port 23, so we have a telnet server. So let's see if we can just prove that that port actually exists. So on our normal machine, what we'll do is we'll just try and telnet in to that address 168, and our address is 75.130. You can see here that we have a telnet connection, so that's working okay. We should also have a web server running from that address, and we go to 192.168.75.130, and there we see we have a web server running on here. Okay, so this virtual image is giving us a telnet port and also a web service. So what we'll do now is that we'll go to Nessus, if we can find it. Sorry, I've just stopped it. So what we'll do is we'll just run it now. So the Nessus scanner allows us to use a web browser to connect and do a vulnerability scan. And so I've created a user here, and we'll just log in. I'll just delete these reports that we've created earlier. Right, so what we'll do is we'll define a policy. So in this case we can add a policy, but there's a policy already created, and we'll just have a look at that policy. You can see here that says port scan. It's going to use a TCP scan, and we'll just accept all the defaults there. There are other credentials that we can use and various plugins, but we'll just do a generic TCP scan just now. So then what we do is we just add our scan here, and we'll call it my scan, and this should show you all the policies that we have. And we're going to scan our virtual image here. So our virtual image is at this address, 192.168.75.130, and we'll just launch that as a scan. So it'll take some time for the scan to complete. So it's just running just now, and we can have a look at how it's getting on. Just takes a little minute to do the scan. So this is the virtual image here, and this is our local host, and we can see here it's now running, and it's already discovered port 139, port 445, and so on. So as it goes through, it should hopefully discover the other ports that are open. And we can see a few more coming through here. Just have a look over here to see if it's getting the right ports. And the ports ports it should discover are 23, 80, 135, 137, 445. So we can see here that it's getting these correct. This is showing us the current connections that we have. So we can now have a look at each of the ports in some detail. So we can see here that that we can use Nessus to actually scan our hosts. Another method we can use is to use Nmap. Okay, so these are some of the options that we can actually use. So we'll do Nmap verbose, and we want to scan 192.168.75.130. And we can see here that Nmap has found port 139, that's port 80. So the main services that are open are Telnet, HTTP, MSRPC, and so on.